Hi, I'm Lenart Kazmer. I'm here with ICE Resin. I am the creator and the creative director of ICE Resin. I've been working with ICE Resin for, oh my gosh, 10 to 12 years now. So I have a lot of different ideas. One of the things that I want to show you real quick today is a casting process with resin that I call resin glass casting. So it's actually where I'm taking an object and I'm making it super shiny, super clear. So I just have some samples down here. So to start with, these are actually a lot of the tint colors that I have with foil back behind there. I am going to use the Hacienda for this piece, to cast this piece. And here's the putty I'm using. And then I'm also using a plunger ice resin, a cup of stick, and a paintbrush. And this will be everything that I'll need to use today. So to start with, I'm going to actually start with the putty. And this is my piece I'm going to cast. This is a 2-part putty. It's non-toxic. It goes with the ice resin line. And you need to mix half and half. You don't have to be exact as you do with ice resin, but you need to be pretty accurate and you need to mix it really well. So one thing that I will say about casting is that don't get up and walk around the room when I start blending my two pieces together. You really want to stand in one place and blend it. So I want to say that before I get started because that's absolutely one of the most important things to do. You also have to remember all you need is half the amount of how large your piece is. You know, I think naturally you have a tendency to stick your hands in and grab however big your piece is, but you don't need to have exact. So these are the two pieces I'm going to start with. These are already very well oiled, so I don't have to oil my piece. You know, you can already see my hands are getting oily. Now when I start blending, I just have about a minute before this starts getting springier and it'll not accept my piece. So once I start blending, I want to try to get this done. So I'm just going to stand here. I've got it in the palms of my hand and you can see how I'm folding it as quickly as possible. You don't want to have you really don't want to have the white and the gray separated. You really want to mix this into one color so there's no variation. And I'm just going to keep blending it in the palms of my hand. When I get it to the right size, I'm going to roll it into kind of a flatter ball. You don't need to have too big for a flat piece like this. And then I'm just going to make sure I can get this all around the edges, and I'm going to press my piece down. And then one of the most important things to do is to very, very quickly build a wall around your piece so you have your piece right here. There, and it's done. Now I just have to wait about 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, this will be finished. And I'm working on, oops, sorry, I'm making a little mess here. I'm working on mixing my resin now while that sets. So, this is actually the plunger. It's just a twist off. You can't put it on the wrong way. I'm just gonna go ahead and plunge a small amount in. You don't need a lot. Close up my resin. And then I'm just gonna mix this very, very gently. You don't, with this small of an amount, you don't really have to mix it very, very quickly, but you do need to mix it for about a minute, and you do need to make sure you scrape the sides and scrape the bottom. Then I'm just gonna take my Hacienda tint. I just dropped 1 drop in. This one I dropped 2. On these pieces here, these are just 1 drop. And then I'm just gonna mix this in. So I'll have kind of a darker color. I usually try for, I don't know, a little washed out color. That's what I like to look at. So now my piece, it's not quite dry, but it should be just about dry. I can pull it off. It's not all the way dry, but you guys will wait for yours to be all the way dry. It'll still stand. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and pour my resin in. There. All the bubbles, this is a 6-hour dry, so all the bubbles are gonna work their way out. So I'm gonna move my cast piece over and I'm gonna bring a finished piece out that I made for you. And once it's dry, you're just gonna kind of work your edges a little bit to pop your piece out. And once I have my edges worked out, If I end up ripping a little bit of my putty like this, I can just go back in and patch it up a little bit. It's one of the things with this putty that works out pretty well. And you get a gorgeous, gorgeous piece of glass. So for me, sometimes I really like this matte look. You know, I just have it's a beautiful matte look. If I want it shiny and transparent, like this piece here, then what I want to do is just coat it with a coating of resin. But before I do that, one of the things that I want to show you very, very quickly, in all of my classes, I find so many people ask me if you can drill through resin. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill through this really quickly while I have you right here, just to show you how quick and easy it is to drill through resin. And that's it. I have a hole in my piece. And there you go, see? So I can now hang this on a wire, and that's what I did down here. So it really is that quick it's really that quick. Now, if I wanted to have that glass, like the resin glass casting that I was talking about, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my glove, and I'm gonna coat my piece with the little bit of resin that's left. And you guys are gonna see on both sides. If there's any ends that I don't like, I usually file, but you guys are gonna see. I'm really starting to get a beautiful, beautiful transparent piece. All the resin will settle in. Like I said, it's a 6-hour dry, so you're really gonna get a beautiful, beautiful look when that's done. So, enjoy your casting with resin. This is really fun, really easy. You're gonna enjoy yourself. Take care.